Hey guys, it's Tiffany with Spot on Spirit, psychic, Reiki master, and spirit medium. Thank you for tuning in to this truly insightful video. Keep it rockin' because Todd Gorny of KTBG Radio will be giving us a brief overview of the Zodiac sign. Don't go anywhere because JOHN DIVON, aka The Foundation, aka my boyfriend, will be reading an in-depth synopsis of my favorite sign from Linda Goodman's Sun Sign Astrology book. Remember, be original and be you. Beeboobopboo.
Hello, this is Todd Gorny from KTBG Radio, coming at you live 24/7. Keep it rockin', booyah, and my newest one, boom! I want to thank people for listening, and I'm doing the horoscopes from 1 through 12, all the way, all the months. So thank you for listening, and enjoy. Taurus, April 20th to May 20th. Symbol, the bull. Ruling planet, Venus. House ruled, 2nd. Element, earth. Mode, fixed. Keyword, possess. Taurus people revel in the pleasures of life. They crave the security and comfort of relaxing in the warmth of their home environment. They value the senses and the enjoyment of material things. They are willful and sometimes can be stubborn. With a large capacity for kindness, they are steadfastly devoted and loyal. Thank you for listening, and if you like what you hear, please share. Hey, this is a special shout out to Philip Daro, who's in a band called Pompous. My thanks to him, and please listen to the band Pompous. PMA, remember those 3 letters because they're important to your life. PMA. Positive mental attitude. If you don't have that, you're missing out on life. Thank you.
Taurus the Bull, April 21st through May 21st. How to recognize Taurus. A travel bug friend of mine who has been everywhere at least twice told me he will never forget his first trip to southern Spain on a tramp steamer. One day while he was on deck admiring the view, a huge mass of solid rock loomed ahead in the distance, rising grandly out of the bright blue Mediterranean. Someone on the ship shouted, "Look, the Rock of Gibraltar!" Awed and impressed, my friend snapped a picture of it for the folks back home, then turned to a bored teenager in the next deck chair and waxed poetic. "Isn't it beautiful?" he asked. "Tons of water have beaten against it through the centuries. Storms have lashed at it. Armies have assaulted it. Civilizations have come and gone, but it just sits there." The teenager yawned. "Yeah, reminds me of my old man." His father was born in May, and that's how you recognize Taurus the Bull. The most fertile places to look for him would be a farm, a bank, or a real estate office. But you'll also find him grazing in other pastures. There are Taurinian engineers, movie stars, clerks, gardeners, kings and queens, chimney sweeps, butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. You can always tell the bull by his strong, silent attitude. Until you get to know him better, his lengthiest monologues will probably be, "Yup," "Nope," "Thanks," "So long," and frequently, "Uh-huh," a substitute for Nope. If he had a strong Gemini, Aries, or Sagittarius influence at birth, he may be a little gabbier and walk with more bounce, but the typical Taurinian prefers to move deliberately and speak sparingly. Like Gibraltar, he is solid and steady and nothing disturbs his tranquility. You can throw water on him or light a fire between his toes. You can beat on his chest with clenched fists, glare at him hypnotically, or shout at the top of your lungs. Taurus won't budge an inch. Once his mind is set, he folds his arms calmly and digs in his heels. He sticks out his rather prominent chin, flares his nostrils, pins back his ears, and you've had it. The bull seldom rushes forward to stomp on your toes. He simply wants to be left alone. Don't disturb him and he'll remain contented. Press him and he becomes obstinate. Shove too hard, tease too much, and be prepared for violent rage. He can go for months and years on end, exhibiting perfect poise and control, inhaling the fragrance of the posies and ignoring the nervous cackling and clucking all around him. Then some unexpected day, a pushy person will pile one straw too many on his broad back. He'll snort, begin to paw the earth, narrow his eyes, and charge. Get out of the way as fast as you can and run for your life. The Taurinian temper is seldom displayed impulsively, but when the bull gets mad, he can destroy everything in his path, up to and including Scorpios. Destroy is not the right word. Demolish is better. It may be some time before the dust settles and peace reigns again. Some Taurinians have such control that they only charge once or twice in a whole lifetime. Even the quick-tempered ones won't erupt more than once or twice a year, if that often. Still, it's best to remember that Taurus usually doesn't get just a little mad or annoyed. If the incident is large enough to rock his normally placid emotions, you can count on blind fury, no ordinary anger. I know one Taurus male whose wife had never seen him angry during all the years of her marriage, until one night in a crowded supper club, an obnoxious drunk stumbled over their table and made an off-color remark. She expected her husband to handle the man firmly with his usual self-control, and she was as shocked as the rest of the customers when the Taurinian suddenly stood up, shoved over 2 tables, lifted the man in the air, and sent him flying to the other side of the room, nearly demolishing the bandstand. Not a word was exchanged. I trust this will make you properly cautious. Before even winking at a strange woman, it would be wise to know her escort's birthday. You can expect many May people to actually resemble a bull, the men that is, and the women born under the sun sign will have an intangible, elusive bovine quality about them. The look in the female Taurinian's eyes will be serene and limpid, yet steady. She will move gracefully, indolently, but with a suggestion of hidden strength. As for the males, the neck will often be thick or muscular, the shoulders, chest, or back, or all 3, broad and strong. The entire body will be proportioned, whether short or tall. The ears are usually small and close to the head. When they eat, they chew slowly, and ordinarily have excellent digestions. You may notice a lock of hair resembling the bull's forelock, or a curl that hangs in the center of the forehead. Not all, but many Taurinians have curly or wavy hair, It's usually dark like the eyes and skin. Even the occasional blonde, light-eyed, and fair-skinned Taurus people will never suggest fragility of mind or character. Naturally, you can't expect every Taurinian to look like Ferdinand the Bull or Elsie the Cow. It's true that they frequently have large, generous bodies, ranging from muscular to plump to fat. But if you get that image too set in your mind, you won't recognize the skinny ones, and it's important to learn to spot them too. What are you going to do when you turn on television and the Late Late Show features Taurians Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire, or Gary Cooper? Don't let it throw you. For all his Piscean lightness of foot and his airy Gemini charm, Fred Astaire is an earthly Taurus. The other planetary influences in his chart can't change that. Just ask his friend, choreographer Hermes Pan, and anyone else close to the dancing legend. Ask them how tough it is to get this Twinkletoes to go somewhere he doesn't want to go, or do something he doesn't want to do. Bing Crosby is also famous for his unruffled personality and his calm, easygoing manner. That was probably one of Bing's sons on the tramp steamer. As for Gary Cooper, take another look at that tall, lanky frame of that hero of the vintage cowboy shows. His solid feet seem to be growing right out of the ground as if they were rooted there. He moves across your television screen with slow deliberation, and the total number of complete sentences the actor speaks in those old westerns is roughly under a dozen. Actor? Following the venerable Hollywood system of typecasting, Gary Cooper always superbly played Gary Cooper. And like many other Taurinians you'll meet away from stage and camera, the Cooper love scenes feature a romantic girl who cries, "I love you madly, passionately. I can't live without you. You're my whole life, darling. Tell me you care. Say you feel the same way. Do you love me? Do you?" What answer does the poor girl get for her torrent of sentiment? Yup. But it can be strangely comforting. Taurus is strongly attracted to the opposite sex, but aggressive pursuit of any kind of pleasure isn't in his bag of tricks. He prefers to attract people to him. Why should he waste his energy chasing them over the countryside? A short trip to a farm and some astute observation of the laws of nature will make it clear how the Taurinian emotions are activated in both love and friendship. Passivity is the typical behavior. Taurinians would rather entertain hospitably at home than go to the trouble of visiting. The effort required for scintillating popularity doesn't appeal to the bull's nature. If you want him, you can call him. He'll be there. Throw out the line of comradeship or romance, and he'll pick it up. If it interests him, he'll know what to do with it too, which isn't always true of the more gregarious signs. Taurus seldom worries, frets, or chews his nails. He can pout and brood when things don't suit his fancy, but he's not the nervous, twitchy type. It's his nature to be stoic and take things in his stride, and nothing really alters this basic tendency. I know a Taurinian who is both an attorney and a certified public accountant, a double career that would give anyone plenty to take in stride, especially at tax time. Now this Taurus may bite his nails a little. All right, he bites them a lot. He talks faster than I do too, which is pretty fast. And he does have a couple of worry creases in his forehead. But there's a heavy Gemini influence in his natal chart, that causes the deceptive speed. And if you look behind this whirling action of his dynamic outer image, you'll still discover a Taurus. His brain may calculate like lightning, but his decisions are made slowly and carefully. His actions are predictable. His character is strong. And you can ask his wife just how much of a pushover he is when she tries to get him to dress up and go somewhere on the nights he'd rather stay at home.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jay Fratt of the Conservative Hippie Podcast. I just wanted to give you a quick breather. While in just a moment, we're going to get you back to the smooth audio recording from JOHN DIVON, reading about the best zodiac sign of the bunch, your zodiac sign, from Linda Goodman's Sun Sign Astrology book. It's crazy to find all these unique areas that relate to you and your sun sign. Please take a moment when you finish listening to leave a comment with a few traits you identify with your zodiac sign. And if you like what you're hearing, subscribe, like, and share. JOHN DIVON has also been featured reading some of the zodiac signs for Stoner Horoscopes at stonerhoroscopes.com. They're uploaded at the beginning of each month for all 12 of the zodiac signs. And yep, they even make it into a podcast, available on iTunes and Google Play. I would like to take a moment to thank him for his friendship and time that he invests to share all the rich goodness with you fine people. I would also like to thank him for joining me on the Conservative Hippie Podcast. John has been a guest twice on the Conservative Hippie Podcast. You can find those episodes on iTunes, Google Play, and at theconservativehippie.com. Well, thanks again for listening, and I hope to see or hear from you. I want to finish my brief intermission with a shout out to Todd Gorny of KTBG Radio, Tiffany, the Reiki Master Psychic Medium found at Spot On Spirit, and the one and only Adora Zen, writer of Stoner Horoscopes, found on Twitter at Adora Zen. Always remember to be original, be you, Beeboobopboo. And now back to your listening pleasure. Enjoy.
And you can ask his wife just how much of a pushover he is when she tries to get him to dress up and go somewhere on the nights he'd rather stay at home. You can also ask his clients who try to rush him into closing deals quickly. He'll listen patiently and pleasantly, but the papers don't get signed until the bull makes up his mind it's the right move. Oh, yes. He's a Taurus. Never mind the Gemini wit and agility. Flighty action is not among his vices. He rushes slowly, and that's not a non sequitur. Taurus people are home folks. There's scarcely a bull who doesn't love to luxuriate under his own roof and stretch out amid comfortable familiar surroundings. Change upsets him, unless there's a Gemini, Sagittarius, or Aquarius moon or ascendant. If the Taurus you know doesn't own his own home, he's dreaming about it. And he will someday. He's close to the earth, and the love of the land will come to him eventually, one way or another. If he's forced to live in a crowded apartment building, he'll probably have a window box full of geraniums and petunias. When the noisy clatter of the city threatens to press in too close, he'll determinedly grab his fishing pole and head for a quiet pastoral spot. Let the world spin at too dizzy a pace for him, and Taurus simply gets off for a spell until it slows down. If he has no fishing pole or window box outlet, he may dabble in real estate and make arrangements for other people's mortgages, which gets him out to the suburbs occasionally. There's always a connection with the land, however remote, like hanging around the racetrack, or taking his Sunday stroll through the park and drinking in the sights and fragrances of nature. The average bull is superbly healthy with a strong constitution. It takes a lot to put him on his back, but once he's down, he may recuperate slowly, particularly due to his stubborn refusal to obey the doctor. His natural inclination to distrust optimism doesn't promote speedy recovery. The sensitive areas for accident and infection are the throat, neck, legs, ankles, reproductive organs, the back, and the spinal area. Colds often turn into sore throats, and overnight brought on by the legendary Taurinian love of food and drink, mostly food, can put a strain on the heart and plague the bull with poor circulation, weak ankles, and other chronic complaints. Gout is another possibility. Most May people, however, can easily stay healthier than the rest of us if they avoid obesity and kidney infections. Let's be blunt. If the bull drinks to excess or gets fat and lazy, he'll lose his splendid physique and his robust good health. One of the main causes for his illnesses is a lack of country air and exercise. His system always needs it, even though his obstinate will may deny it. Speaking of obstinacy, there's no use telling a Taurinian he's obstinate. In the bull's mind, he's not stubborn at all. He's patient. It's a matter of semantics. He's not hard-headed. He's just sensible and firm. For the life of him, he can't see why people judge him so unfairly. The truth is that Taurus is as stubborn as a human can be, and not actually turn into solid stone. Taurinian men and women seem to be glued to both their seats and their opinions. A Taurus husband will refuse to accompany his wife to a friend's house if there are no comfortable chairs for him to sit in. She can plead in vain. He just won't go. A Taurus woman who doesn't approve of her husband's cronies simply will not talk to them. Still, the bulls can also claim the virtue of patience with justification. Many a Taurinian bears emotional and physical burdens in silence for years without complaint. The higher the troubles pile up, the more strength Taurus finds to bear them. His loyalty and devotion to family and friends often surpass all understanding. Lots of Taurus men and women deserve gold medals for courage under blows of fate that would have long ago broken the back of those born under other sun signs. Fine, I'll go along with awarding a blue ribbon in recognition of the Taurus fortitude, but he's still stubborn. There's very little that turns his appetite faint. The bull can usually eat anything from fried peppers to chocolate whipped cream cake, sour pickles and turnips, all at the same meal, without a trace of indigestion. Steak and beef are usually his favorites, and he loves to clean up the leftovers. If alcohol is added, the Taurinian can closely resemble King Henry VIII, happily gorging at a royal banquet. Of course, a Virgo ascendant can keep him on the raw carrots and lettuce, washed down with prune juice. The Taurinian's funny bones are tickled by broad and slapstick comedy. Many of them fail to catch subtle satire, but they'll howl when someone slips on a banana peel or gets a custard pie in the face. Taurus humor is warm and earthy, playful and reminiscent of Falstaff. These people are seldom, if ever, really cruel or vindictive. It's a strange fact that cruel Taurinians often have many planets in Aries at birth. The two signs don't seem to mix well in the same horoscopes. Hitler is a good example. Now, about the subject of money, the bull and his money are seldom parted. Not every Taurinian is a millionaire, but you won't find many of them standing in line for free soup. Taurus likes to build empires slowly and surely. He starts with a solid foundation, then gradually adds a story at a time until he's built a stable business and a bank account with muscles. Oddly, Taurus likes to accumulate power along with cash, but simply for the sensual enjoyment of possessing it. They often turn over the action to subordinates. Just knowing the power is there along with the dollar seems to satisfy the Taurinian need for security. Why should he be bothered with the effort of manipulating all the strings? There are Capricorns and Cancerians around to do that, while he snoozes, smells a daisy, and eyes the pretty girls. It's enough that everybody knows who owns the pasture. Sooner or later, money will come to Taurus, and it usually sticks like glue when it does. The bull prizes his cash and his possessions as he does his family, but he's not stingy. The Taurinian generous heart and pockets are wide open to real friends in real trouble. He's impressed by bigness. The larger a building, the grander it is to him. He'll walk right past the monkeys at the zoo to stare in fascination at the powerful elephants. Taurus will face huge animals with magnificent courage, but he fears a mouse. A tiger on the loose won't cause the bull to flicker an eyelash, while a tiny wasp can send him climbing up the nearest tree in nervous panic. Fine paintings and great symphonies stir him deeply. Every Taurinian owns some evidence of the Venus love for art and music. If it's only an old Caruso record, or a museum postcard of an early Van Gogh tucked under the sweatshirts he wears when he's out jogging on weekends. Many Taurus men and women have beautiful voices. Some of them sing professionally, others warble in the bath, soak in rich oils and dream of gilt-edged security. Music will always touch their lives in some way, and drawing or painting are often either hobbies or careers. The sensuous bull is tranquilized by the color of the sky. Shades of blue bathe his emotions with peace. Also rose and pink, in a lesser way, but never red, as any matador could tell you. The greens and browns of nature calm and soothe him too. Green paper money and a brown stone house will keep him perfectly contented. Although Taurian ideas are always sensible, they can also sparkle with the clarity and depth of 15 precious sapphires that add up to 6 kinds of good fortune, as he doubles his money under the benign smile of the gods. There's nothing small about Taurus, including his capacity for lasting love and his potential for wealth. Copper, the Taurian metal, is an excellent conductor of electricity and heat, and it glows with burnished beauty through years of use and wear. Let the excitable ones scurry and squabble for first place. The bull's fixed nature needs no flaming torches to light the way to the security he seeks. Eventually success will come to him, and he will be ready, because the far-off Venus showers him with love of luxury. He pays dearly for his possessions and treasures them for a lifetime. Yet he's the sworn enemy of waste and extravagance. His home is his castle, and let no man disturb the peace of the bull. Taurus is as patient as time itself, as deep as the forest, with a dependable strength that can move mountains. But he's stubborn.
Well, you're just going out and doing things. A lot of people have ideas, but that's where it stops.
I do enjoy executing ideas.
They're always the ones that say, I had that idea, I wanted to do that, I had that idea. An idea is nothing. An idea is the easiest part. it's the execution of the idea that's so hard, in my opinion.
Right.
It really is. And then when you're around other creative people and they have an idea, it's so wonderful to say, that's a great idea. I've got that in my pocket.
It's hard to complete them. It's sometimes like reading a really good book.
Yeah.
You get into a really good book, you kind of don't want to read it. You don't want it to be over. It's hard to finish. Like you start off ideas and then once you finish it, it's over. But you need to know that there's more ideas, so you need to finish it and get to your next great idea.
Be original and be you. Beeboobopboo.
Beeboobopboo. Bye-bye mess. Redefining mealtime, one bowl at a time. As a mother of 3 children, I can't count how many times dinner ended up on the floor, the wall, in the other's hair, on my face. You get the picture. With the Beeboobopboo suction bowl, each child gets their own color and dinner stays at the table. I hope you and your family enjoy this suction bowl as much as I do. With love, Beeboobopboo. Product features: Stay Put Suction. The silicone-based suctions to any surface without leaving a mark. The easy design makes cleaning simple. Compartments. With modular compartments, the bowl is perfect for on-the-go meals and build your own snacks. Seal-to-snap lid. The airtight lid seals with a snap and keeps food fresh and eliminates spills. Reviews. Love the quality and sturdiness of these bowls. As a mom of 2 girls, these help me to minimize accidents and to streamline our snack packing for trips. The packaging and presentation was also adorable. Thank you. This is a fantastic product. My son is 7 months old, and we're in that stage where he wants to grab everything. When we use this bowl, it's so much less messy. It sticks until you want it gone. I only got one, but I need more. I use it for my son who has motor skill issues. He is able to eat with one hand, but has issues using the other to hold the bowl in place. This suction bowl allows him with just one hand to eat independently. Contact information. Get in touch with us at admin@beeboobopboo.com. We love to hear your stories. Beeboobopboo. Cleaning up after your little ones can make mealtime stressful. With a stay-put suction base and a snap-to-seal lid, Beeboobopboo bowls work to keep dinner on the table so you don't have to.